Hello and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I am Sientir, and this is Guild Wars 1. You can support me at patreon.com/Sientir if you feel like it, or you can just let people know that I'm doing Guild Wars 1 stuff that they might be interested in, or, you know, whatever else I might be doing. Anyway, last time we obtained this lovely quest from one guardsman Kaolin, probably is how that's pronounced, and he says, travel to Buckdeck Byway to protect the citizens from the retreating gangs. Remember, we just fended off an attack by a bunch of gang members of the various variety. And he says, while your valor has certainly earned you a moment's rest, I'm afraid the Ampha and Jade Brotherhood disagree. It seems they aren't taking their failure particularly well and are leaving a wake of destruction behind them as they fall back to regroup. At first, they were simply looting the city, unwilling to go home empty-handed, but things are starting to turn a lot uglier out there. They've begun terrorizing the residents for sport, and I fear many lives will be lost if we do not intervene immediately. My forces are too few to handle this alone, and the Ministry of Purity is nowhere to be found. You'd almost think they wanted the palace to fall. Our fine citizens have already had to endure far too many hardships. We can't stand idly by as these thugs kidnap, rob, and murder them. Please, if you are able, I ask you to go out and teach these bullies to pick on someone their own size. And so Buckdeck Byway is right here. So we're going to go there. Running the same team as I was running last time. Hello, Mr. the Prophet. The Obsidian Flame help keep the rogue guilds in check. Okay. So there's an Imperial Guard over there, but we need to go deal with this mess. So, defeat the mercenaries attacking civilians. Do not allow more than 3 groups of peasants to die. Says, I'm not going home empty-handed. Hand over your gold. You have lost, you know it. Go back to where you came from. Okay. Well, they have dumped the entire truck on top of me. Stop it, charming peacekeeper. Cool. So we know that we need to act quickly and decisively to protect the fine citizens of Cantha, who have, as has been stated, endured far too much. Looks like they're all monks or something. Okay, but let's not hang around too long. We'll show you what we're capable of. Yes. Need to keep them peasants alive. Which is unfortunately not going as well as I would like. Ooh, that was beautiful. Wow, that was a splinter weapon on a holy spear on a spirit. That was friggin'... Wow, that was A+ AoE is what that was. Wow. Yeah. A very good skill for dealing with summons, which is, I assume, why they made it. Okay, it looks like they have a pretty strong linear progression. If I fail here, the solution is, in fact, for me to do something like bring a charged warrior instead of an acolyte djinn or something. The main thing is trying... These guys are being very single-mindedly focused over on the peasants, which is kind of interesting. By interesting, I mean annoying. Okay, and that's just going to bring us... Wait, no, they're up. They're up. How do I get up? Sorry. This is a part of Kaineng City that I don't tend to go to as often. Buckdeck Byway just tends to not have as much reason to go to it as some of the other spots. There's like not as many elite skills to capture and stuff like that, so I must confess that I am slightly uncertain of how to navigate it. Let's open this. Broken for purple. Oh well. You never know with those sorts of things what you're gonna get. The chests are not great in this game in general, but you know, whatever. Okay, that's just generic. Next group is over this way. Crimson. So one of the things that I decided after, so in between episodes, I sold some materials I don't need, and that makes me want to salvage a lot more stuff. If you want them, you're gonna have to go through me first. It'll be a cold day in Corner before I take commands about my killing order from the likes of you, says the Corsair from Cantha, or from Ilona rather. Corner. Yes. You got a lot more cross-pollination and stuff in this because it occurred after everything was out. But made any amount of sense to do. I think we're doing okay. This is our army, you're not going to take it from us. We fight for Cantha. Miss, I'm blinded. Oh, how rude. Well, I mean, we just dunked AoE on him, so that worked, I suppose. Oh, Rust. Yeah, sure. Rust makes signets take longer to activate. And there's some other random stuff that I don't remember exactly. It's gotten changed over the years. It's another one of those sorts of skills. Wow, there's a bunch of Jade Brotherhood up there. I'm not sure if that's where the quest is going to take us, though. Oh, well, there's my gold. My rice wine, you thief! I guess it continues up this way. Looks like someone needs to quiet you down, human. Apparently. I mean, these are motley crews, but they're a bit strong for ordinary peasants. We're frankly getting the ever-living snot beat out of them. It doesn't help that their skill is Orson of Healing, the worst healing skill in the game, kind of. Decidedly one of the weakest, anyway. Orson of Healing is kind of the beginner healing skill. It's only really good with skills that buff your healing rate, at which point it becomes acceptable. Never, by the way, like, straight out amazing. It's just not capable of amazing. It's just not the sort of skill that it is. Sorry about some of the camera wiggling. Speaking of which, there. That'll make for a thumbnail. Yeah, my mouse pad is kind of on the edge of my desk and it's been falling off a little bit. Stay away from us, you savages. I'll show you just how savage we are, responds the Corsair Commander, who obviously has strong feelings about the matter. Oh, there's a lot of Amphi over there. Yeah, that was a nice pile of explosions. But yeah, Orson of Healing is very unimpressive, is what I'm saying. Ooh, a katana. It's just a sword. I don't think they're actively engaged in combat until we get close enough, so I'm going to take out these guys that we're apparently attacking. Okay, it looks like the next group's over there. Yeah, they're kind of like standing off. And then as we get closer and trigger the dialogue, then they actually engage in combat, so. Definitely want to be targeting these firebrands because I don't want those peasants getting hit by Rodgort's invocations and crap. The good news is that this doesn't say do not allow more than 3 peasants to die. It's 3 groups. So, like, that peasant is still alive, for example. At this point, this has gone on long enough that I sincerely do not want to fail. Listen to Aerie, Heart of Fire, and determine her fate. Oh, okay. You fool! You have cursed us all to a life under the tyranny of the Ministry of Purity. At least the Ministry of Purity doesn't murder people for their gold. I'm no advocate for the Ministry, but I hardly see criminals as a viable alternative. No, the Ministry of Purity just kills them for their ideals, for thinking differently. Is that really so much better? I know what the gang's plans were. Your allies brought these mercenaries here, and now they run rampant through the streets. You knew the plans of 2 dead men, but don't presume to know what drives me. We are each individuals with our own motivations. Oh, and what's your motivation? The Ministry took someone from me, someone who is very dear to me. I fight to stop others from having their lives destroyed for the sake of peace and security. Even if I must fight alongside criminals to do so. If that makes me evil, if that makes me a monster, strike me down here and now. If not, I bid you farewell. I just hope you're as good as you think you are, because thanks to your actions, you're one of the few remaining people standing in the Ministry's way. I'm going to allow her to leave. That's my feelings on the matter. Cool. So at this point, we can go claim our reward from Kowlin. I don't mind if they get in the Ministry of Purity's way. Thank you, Carmen Angelus. You've scared those fiends back into their holes for the time being, it seems. It will take them quite a while to muster enough forces to try to pull something like that off again, and something tells me their credit isn't going to be good with many mercenaries anymore. I, for one, don't plan on waiting around until they've regained their strength, and plan on hunting them down to end this once and for all. Okay. So what do you go? Oh boy. Okay. Let's get through this this plot. After I drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated, folks. Okay. Carmen Angelus, thank the gods you are here. A group of peasants have taken to the streets to protest the Ministry of Purity's increase in power and show opposition to the ever-restrictive policies they have enacted. While they are unarmed and have made it clear this is an entirely peaceful rally, the Ministry of Purity has dispatched a squad to intercept them and suppress the demonstrators by whatever means necessary. One of my men saw their orders, and Raiko has declared them militant partisans and given her men orders to kill them on sight. We have protested this, but are tied down by bureaucratic nonsense. They say it can take days for a resolution permitting us to intervene or ordering the Ministry of Purity to stand down, and by then the demonstrators will be nothing but unmarked graves. Please, go and warn the demonstrators. If you can get them to Shikwang Skyway, there are places they can hide until the Ministry calls off their search. Speak with me when you are ready to travel. I have a boat waiting. Okay. I will stop this bloodbath before it starts. But before I do that, I need to do something about my inventory. What's the best way to do this? Just Guild Hall, I guess. Guild Hall is always easy to identify where things are at. Yes, you can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Sientir. I did not mean to open up. Oh, that's what that salvage is into. Not anticipate getting chitin fragments out of that. Oh, well, it's not a great Furious, but this is okay. Not great. Okay, merchant. I need an ID kit. I'm gonna need a salvage kit soon too. Now I just need an ID kit. I don't need any of that stuff from the hammer. Right. Where's water magic and his buffer? Yeah, that's so weird. Okay, none of these are any worth me. Yeah, you can see the effects on my bank from selling nearly 20k worth of materials. Okay, so let's go talk to our guardsman here and see what we can do. Ministry of Oppression. The name of this quest. What we do for the glory of the Cantha Empire. Are you ready to travel to Watchin Bazaar? I'm ready to travel. Or I had a really bad experience at a political rally recently. Count me out. I'm ready to travel. Yeah, we went to a political rally and then they tried to kill us. Shinji and a bunch of protesting peasants. Are we going to sit here silently obeying the Ministry of Purity while our friends and family keep on disappearing at night for speaking against them? No, shouts the crowd. Are we going to... I hope you're going to end that sentence with run, and the answer is yes, because the Ministry of Purity is on their way here now, and they don't have arrest in mind for you. Those tyrannical, Naga-loving... Can you please insult them and run at the same time? We really need to get out of here. Oh, goodness. Oh, wait. Boop. Magic powers. Yeah. Okay. Shinji must survive and escort them to the Jiqing Skyway. I can see the Ministry of Purity over there. Most of our allies are warriors. I don't like all this running and hiding. We shouldn't be forced to flee from our government just for speaking our minds. It feels like we're letting them win. You seem to be some of the few people around here who aren't blinded by the Ministry of Purity's propaganda. Standing there and letting them slaughter you and say you attacked them would be letting them win. Sometimes people need to give their lives before others realize the direness of a situation. If we cannot solve this peacefully, I will die fighting them. Martyrdom only works if people know you were martyred. We didn't save your life only to have you thrown away and be deemed a traitor. Good people, human and Tengu alike, died so you could live. If you wish to make a sacrifice for others, make sure you're not doing so frivolously. How can you sit there and tell me to do nothing while you take up arms against the Ministry of Purity? I know your history. You are a hero. You are a killer? It isn't as noble when you say it like that, is it? I have slaughtered thousands simply because someone told me it was for a just cause. But something you'll learn over time is everyone thinks their cause is just. The Ministry of Purity feels their cause is just. Raiko may be evil, but the men and women she has tricked into obeying have been... Okay, I'm gonna need to follow up on that in a second. Oh, okay, that was just the next destination point. Okay, we need to be moving. Okay, so I'm gonna have a hard time trying to read that while running at the same time. This would be a really good time to have brought fallback with me, but I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and finish reading up the dialogue after I finish the quest, because I'm kind of focused on navigation here, which makes it extremely difficult, as you might imagine, to actually see what the quest says, or to see what the dialogue is saying. And hopefully we don't have too much fighting to do because we've... Okay, this seems to be... Okay, let's see. So the Ministry of Purity... Okay, so we've got... Okay, let's see this. I cannot allow you to pass. Why do you insist on creating turmoil on our lands? Creating turmoil? Zayri, the Ministry of Purity was sent here to murder these people. I don't believe you. The Ministry wouldn't do that. Raiko would never allow it. Raiko ordered it herself. Don't believe me? Don't believe me. Go speak with your allies and ask them whose blood taints their blades. But the answer should be clear to you after seeing the terror on the faces of your countrymen. I don't know what to do. Do what you know is right, Zayri. Do what would make your father proud. Very well. Go now, and I will buy you some time. Zayri. Go, before I change my mind. Okay, so let's read some of that dialogue that we missed. Because I couldn't read it while trying to run. Let's see. How can you sit there and tell me to do nothing while you take up arms against the Ministry of Purity? I know your history. You're a hero. You are a killer? It isn't as noble when you say it like that, is it? I have slaughtered thousands simply because someone told me it was for a just cause. But something you'll learn over time is everyone thinks their cause is just. The Ministry of Purity feels their cause is just. Raiko may be evil, but the men and women she has tricked into obeying her are as much victims as the rest of Cantha. So yes, I kill them like the killer I am. If they were given the chance, they would kill me like the killers they have become. But that does not mean I have to like it. Jinji says, so what? The great hero of Cantha is to become a pacifist? You've suddenly grown a conscience after years of fighting wars, slaying beasts, and defeating armies? We respond, it is true. I have spent many years in combat and taken many lives. Each time I felt that I have allowed good to triumph over evil. But now I see the Ministry of Purity. An army so intent on defeating evil that they have become the very thing they wished to eradicate. I looked at them and I saw myself, gullible, idealistic, willing to do whatever was asked of me, so long as the intentions were good. Evil acts with good intentions are still evil acts, Jinji. Don't make sure that in your quest to destroy evil, you don't become it. Shinji responds, it seems you aren't the emotionless killer I thought you to be. I'm sorry. We respond, don't be. Truth be told, I was rather surprised myself. I guess years of this stuff can impact you in unexpected ways. Shinji responds, unexpected as it may be, you're starting to sound a whole lot less like a killer and a whole lot more like a hero. Thank you, Carmen Angelus. I know now the burden you carry, and I am honored to call you a friend. Okay, so now we need to go talk to the guardsman. Went a little bit more quickly than I would have anticipated, but it was a pretty straightforward running mission. You reached them in time? That is excellent news. I fear this is not the last time civilians will be standing between the Ministry of Purity and their goals. Unfortunately, the Ministry has shown they have no tolerance for dissension and no pity for those who stand in their way. More and more citizens are starting to question the Ministry of Purity and are facing imprisonment or death for speaking out. I fear the streets will run red with the blood of our people before the Ministry of Purity gives up the power they have gained. For now, we celebrate the life saved and pray the world becomes sane again soon. Ooh, boy. Okay. We knew we could count on you to volunteer, but I knew we could count on you to volunteer, but we are short on time. The Ministry of Purity has moved off of Xingzhe Island in order to hunt down the gangs of Kaineng, and we all know how that is going. They thought the Sensali had lost the will to fight, but that's exactly what the clever birds wanted us to believe. The Sensali have already surrounded the monastery, and it's only a matter of time before they break through the gates. The Ministry is nowhere to be found, and we're the only ones close enough to reach Xingzhe in time. Say the word, and we'll depart. Those Tengu don't realize they were attacking the School of Hard Knocks to their heads. I've never really been a fan of education anyway. This is probably going to be more than a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here. And next time, we will defend Xingzhe Monastery from a bunch of birds. So until then, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.